guys, it's all about quality performance. What you guys are about to witness right now is a teardown of Vector's 20B engine. Stay tuned.
You're the only one.
Now this part we're going to do off camera. We have a little trick that does not require the tool. Alright guys, so we got some damage on this plate right here. Check this out. You can maybe come on this angle too and you'll get it. This is how you take it off. Wow.
I'm going to go through the basics of a rotary engine so you guys have a better understanding of how it actually works. Some people think there's valves, cams, and all that stuff, but just see the basic parts here. We have the rear plate. Take a look a little closer. This is the intake port. Air and fuel gets mixed coming in this way. So let me throw the housing on there. This is going to hold the rotor. There's your rotor, there's your housing, and there's your plate. Like I said, air comes in through this port with fuel. Enter into the chamber here as the rotor is passing. Takes the air and fuel, turns. We got spark, we ignite it, then we combust it, and then exhaust out this way. So, fairly simple cycle. You have side seals, oil rings, cornice seals, apex seals to keep the compression on there. So, now you guys have a little bit basic idea of how the rotary engine works. Like I said, as you can see, there's no cams, no valves, no springs. You know, these things make some power for a simple concept. So as I'm going to be going through the 20B, you guys can understand a little bit better. This is basically half of the engine. Here we have a FD RX7 two-rotor short block, if you want to say. Like I said, there's no heads on a rotary. So basically it would have an intake manifold here, and your exhaust manifold or header on this end. Here would be your oil pump and your front cover assembly, and your water pump goes in here. So it's very simple. Love the concept. That's why we grew towards it. So now we're making improvements, doing some R&D, which will keep you guys posted. Want to give you a little background so you could understand more on the 20B as I'm going through all the details on what we found when disassembling the motor. So let me just set this back up real quick for you guys so we could continue the details. One of the major issues we found was wear in the eccentric shaft. There's some pretty aggressive grooves here. You could see the bearing eating into the shaft on all the journals. This is a 3 rotor, so it has a two-piece shaft. So this would be, the first 2 rotors and 3rd rotor. So this one also has wear. You could see some bearing material there. I don't know if you can get in there close, and the light will help. Grab the light. You see the lines in there, and that heating up. Got the stuck corner seal. Side seal looks like it's stuck as well, probably due to the coolant staying in the chamber from the bad water seal. So as you can see, it looks like those are Atkins corner seals, which don't have much material there. We like to use the OEM stuff. The rotor doesn't seem like it's in terrible condition. It could get freshened up, but the seal definitely wore down the edges. Seal should be a little bit looser. This is a side seal. Doesn't look like this motor had much miles on it. This is definitely an Atkins side seal, not OEM. It was cooling all in the apex seal grooves as well. You see a little bit of chattering. Some of the seals I found had a bunch of chattering. Major thing is the pitting on the plate and the bad water seal. It possibly could get repaired. That took a chunk off of the plate there. There's some pieces here that it also got. We could even bring it up, and so you can see it's just eating away. So as we're bringing up the water seal, you can see it deformed the water seal groove. And this is again an Atkins water seal. It's supposed to be reusable. Now there's some grooves here as well. You can see the motor was ported before because this is not smooth, smooth transition. See, there's a little bit of stuff going on there. But major is this piece that actually came off, and the pitting of the front plate there. Some may say it could get repaired. I'm sure it can get repaired, but for Hector's power goals, we're not trying to cut corners and repair things like this. He's really trying to make some power. So also the housing here is really got a bunch of grooves from the apex seal. Hopefully you guys could see it. Yes, it could probably get knocked down, but again, I don't want to take too much tolerance off and have any issues in the future. If this was just a basic, you know, factory setup, then, you know, it is possible measuring tolerances, taking it down a little bit, and then throwing it back together. But, you know, I don't really like to cut corners and go through that. You know, most of these grooves it's definitely from, you know, the apex seal. You know, it just literally scored it. You can see that this is wearing the tip of the rotor. So now you're gonna have a bigger gap between these 2 points here. So a regular 2mm seal might not fit in there correctly after that, because these points are now spread open. So these are the springs that are actually holding the apex seal in place. Again, the rotor doesn't look terrible, but we're gonna go with the RX8 rotor for higher compression. Also lighten it up. Normally we take material off here. We end up scalloping here for boost and aerodynamics, weight. We also get it balanced. But yeah, the center iron is also pitted. You can see here. Seems like coolant was sitting in this location to get both of these spots corroded, and then after time it just wore down the face. See this housing here also. This one looks a little bit worse. Looks like a cat went to it. When you're opening up motors, those are the things that you look for. And unfortunately, that's what we found on this 20B. You know, we gotta replace the housings. We're gonna go with the billet plates, RX8 rotors, and get this bad boy going. Looking for 4 digits. Over 1,000 to the wheels. We're gonna go with this Garrett 80mm here. This is a GTX 45 ball bearing. We're also gonna use this flange for our turbo manifold. The titanium hardware from Chip.
What's going on YouTube? What's going on world? It's Alphas from LG Performance, and in this part of the video, I'm actually going to explain to you guys real quick the series of the 20B engine. Hey Sean, come over here. Let me show you this little baby. Alright, so we have 20B 2.0, and this was actually the first produced 20B engine. Number 204, this number ran from 001 to 999. A, B, C, and D, all numbers are 001 to 999. Now we have a total of 5 series 20B. We have this series, which is the one without the letters, and we have A, B, C, and D. Now, C and D are actually rare and actually expensive. The reason why is because all 4 irons, we have the front, we have the center iron, the intermediate plate, and the rear plate are actually stronger. Casted different, simple things right here are different.
If you guys need any advice, any help with rotaries, parts, we could definitely help you guys out. We have a ton of experience here. I grew up with these motors. We have plenty of experience with other platforms as well, Evos, GTRs, 240s, 2Js, Supras, BMWs. If you guys need anything, feel free to give us a shout. We're here, Long Island, New York.